Hello. Hello.
Quote 401. Threatening to take my femur, yeah, that's a bone masked dog thing.
Big stretch. Big stretch. Hang on, did someone write a pun in the chat? I gotta read this. What did it say? Did you hear the archaeologists found a really big femur in the desert? It was a big shindig. Nice work, Icy. Nice work. Good for you. Also, am I, like, not facing straight? Like, do I need to... Oh, hang on. Sorry, I'm just, like, pulling my chair back just a little bit. And then I'm gonna push it forward again.
Masked Dog thinks you should do 20 squats.
Ah, I just pulled my chair forward. And you got me doing 20 squats right at the get-go already? Also, where is my emote? I need to be improving the whole, you know, getting out there and hitting things thing. So that's where I left that femur. I don't have a giant femur, okay? And you haven't stolen it yet. And I see Furry Cures is late to the party. You idiot! You absolute fool! Alright. Big stretch! Big stretch for the big boy! Alright, here we go. Ow. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, god damn it, why'd you have to take my shirt so soon? 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squat bone, and of course someone had to take my shirt. God damn you furry cures. We're not even like 10 minutes into the stream and already I get my shirt fucking stolen. Ah. Give me that goddamn... No, you keep stealing my shirt. It's very unfair. Why do you have to keep stealing my shit? Thank you for blurring me, Bone Mass Dog. Thank you for blurring me. I really appreciate it. Thank you oh so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Alrighty then. You didn't see my profile pic, Mr. Zeebs. That's the thinking. You did it when I was in the middle of doing squats. That's not my fault. That's your fault. That's not my fault. I had to do squats. I started doing the squats, and you decided to just be like,
you can see,
"Oh, let me
I am
just."
not wearing panties.
And you were just like, "Oh, give me a second. Let me just, you know, do all the cute and himbo stuff while he's busy doing squats. He can't possibly focus on two things at once. The fucking himbo." Green melms done by Radium. I should really see if I can get Radium to do that. Because, like, well, I got a tongue. I wonder how, like... You love my humor, Mr. Zeebs. Thank you. I don't really want to feel that old being called Mr. Zeebs. Thank you very much. Like, god damn. And then, is that a... Yep, so that's Carney's garlic bread. That's not a euphemism, is it? Garlic bread's not a euphemism, is it? Like, I know what's-a-mahoozy. I know donut is a euphemism. And a peach. Like, I know those are all euphemisms, but I don't think garlic bread is a thing, is it? Garlic bread is just a thing people like? Hey! Other people can like garlic bread. I'm a straight man. I like garlic bread. What do you mean it's just a thing people like? It's a thing everyone likes. Unless you've got, you know, I don't know, fucking dairy allergies because of the butter, or perhaps gluten allergies because of the bread. Then let's make a deal. Don't call me by my full government name, and I don't call you Mr. Zeebs. But it's right there. It's right there. There's no Mr. in my, there's no Mr. in my name. It's GrantZeebs. And I get people calling me GrantZeebs, or Grant, or Zeebs. I get a lot of people calling me not Grant. I get a lot of people calling me Zeebs of all things. Like, imagine if I just kept calling you dog. Or if I kept calling furry cures furry. So yeah, good cute ratings, Icy. If I wasn't helping my grandmother, I would have gotten my first. Just throwing your grandma out in front, aren't you? Just being like, it's not my fault I didn't get first, it's my grandma. Blame my grandmother. No, I'm not gonna blame your grandmother, and you shouldn't either. Grandmothers can be blamed for your choices in women, your financial situation, because, you know, grandparents and boomer wealth and shit like that. Grandma was under the bus. Grandpa was
Well,
right. What do
Musky
you
Dog
mean?
has added quote number 406. Hey, garlic bread can be liked by straight people too. I like garlic bread.
Thank you, Bone, for quoting for quoting me about my garlic bread. I really appreciate it. Nice. Hendrix, hi. I'm gonna be real, Hendrix. Your name was like not what like I was like Henry X for some reason. I'm fairly sure I kept calling you Henry, and I kept missing the D. I don't know why. I don't know why I was missing the D in your name, but I was missing it. Damn right, I'm throwing her under the piss and bus. No, don't throw your grandmother under the bus. Chat, don't be doing elderly abuse, okay? That's an actual problem. All right, there we go. Got my shirt back.
Dog has
Hi
added
there,
quote
Flu.
number 407. I was missing the D.
I'm missing the D. Hi there, Flu the Kenku. How's it going? I'm gonna be real, Flu. Like, every time I see you, I just keep thinking of fucking Goreflem and how like they are normally doing the arts and such. I don't know why. Like, you obviously
Don't
visit.
let me send you to Jesus myself.
You normally visit like probably other streamers for all I know, but for some reason, every time I see you, Flu, I'm just sort of like, that's Goreflem's buddy, and I'm like, why do I come to this? You're always in Goreflem streams. That is true, but I feel like that shouldn't be the impression I get whenever I see your name. I should have the impression of Flu, the Kenku Bard. Wait, hang on. Kenku's just, you know, repeat things. Kind of like how autists like myself just decide to, you know, regurgitate quotes from movies and such. Ooh, Flu. Do you just repeat movies? Do you just, like, repeat quotes from, like, movies and TV shows, and that's sort of, like, your means of communication sometimes with unknown people? Like, you'll just throw a Simpsons phrase out there, and an Australian will pick it up, and you're just like, oh, they just like me! Sup. Hi there, Timmy! Welcome to the stream, Timmy! So, yeah. I have not put any plans to Sunday morning stream, just to put it out there right now. No? Oh my god, Flu, is Flu just like neurotypical? But not important. Didn't put any plans to this morning's stream. I just put it as just chatting because, you know, speak my mind about a few things, give you an update on stuff that I forgot to mention yesterday, such as the fact that I am getting in the mail, I am going to be getting a new hard drive. That was like one of the things I had in my stream notes for something to purchase in the future. And the reason for that is because Windows 10, they've stopped doing feature updates, and I'm fairly sure they've stopped doing non-security updates as well. New hard drive? Yes, it's going to be like this M.2 SATA, so it's going to be an M.2 SSD, and it's going to be like the NVMe, so it's like really, really fast speeds. No, I'm not getting a new D. Don't be ridiculous. Actually, I also need to put that in my notes. I need to do that, I need to do a render. You know, you remember that, render when, Moist Critical, aka Charlie, was going through, like, I don't know, a dildo challenge with Belle Delphine, and you just have, like, this image of him carrying this fucking, like, 5-foot long, like, massive dildo into his room, and it's just, and he's like, I will not be defeated by Belle Delphine, was like the title of his video. I need to remember to try and replicate that, because one of the things I used to do before I did streaming, I should say, back when I was like trying to figure out what my creative avenue was going to be in the furry community, and I was like, oh, I'll just, do some 3D nonsense. I got a zebra now. I can do things with him. And one of the common things I did, which was done firstly by accident when I tried using soft body and cloth sim to make my dick do wobbly shit, on one of the first renders, it decided to just fall off because I didn't know what pinning groups were. And so what ended up happening there is I now just made the common joke that, can't keep my dick in my pants kind of thing. So very easy for me to detach that like thing and then, you know, make that as a render. I need to do that at some point. Thank you for reminding me, Icy, about getting a new D. Thank you very much. If you get a new D, may I have the old one? No, I am going to be using all this. Like, I don't know how people do this, where they're able to be like, ah, yes, I'm going to create an entirely new PC. Here's the old one that's going to be sold for the third of the price. It's like, I'm not all about that shit. I still have the original CPU. I still have, like, the 5600 CPU, which is probably only, like, worth, like, less than $100 right now, secondhand. I've not yet put that on the Facebook Marketplace or anything like that, mostly because I'm not, you know, interacting on Facebook all that much, but the problem is still there. Hard drives, meanwhile, I'm not going to get rid of the M.2. Like, that's a Samsung 1 terabyte. Like, I can put that into, like, an external enclosure and turn it into, like, a 1 terabyte portable hard drive if I wanted to. I can put it in my... Wait, hang on a sec. Is it going to even be worth it at that size? Hang on. Open new tab. PS5. See... disk console. Hard drive... size. I'm pretty sure how much storage does the PS5 have? It has an internal 1 terabyte hard drive. Okay. So, and I'm fairly sure if I wanted to expand it, I need to take out that hard drive in order to put a new one in there. For the purpose of the... while PS5 users won't be able to take advantage of the flashier aspects of the heatsink is quite fetching. Hi there, Ginger Fox. Welcome to the stream. Zeebs. Wait, hang on. Hand. Finger. Do your thing. Do the thing, finger. Ginger. I'm doing okay. I am just getting distracted by double-checking how to upgrade the storage. You go suck a lemon. I am just updating myself on how the fuck do you upgrade the hard drive. And from the looks of it... Ooh. Okay. So it looks like you can put an additional hard drive in there instead. I should really try not to say I will need to double check what my PS5 looks like on the inside to see whether or not, once I have the new hard drive, to see whether or not I can put in the old Samsung hard drive and put that in my PlayStation 5, because I'm always running out of room. And with video games like Final Fantasy 16 coming out with like 100 plus gigabytes, more and more I'm kind of annoyed with this trend we're having with video games where we're improving their graphical fidelity, and even though we're able to create, you know, higher quality games with less resources. Hey, you already stole my shirt. Why did you steal it this time? Some wonderful finger work. Thank you very much. I'm using a leap motion that is currently attached to my chest right now. I'm going to be getting like the updated leap motion as well, which, you know, is able to track my hands up to like a meter away, because these things don't track it like 100% well. And if I can get like the tracker where it's like, you know, a meter's distance, I might put that back on my desk instead of having it like rigged to my chest. So then that way I'm not wearing like, you know, a thing on my chest. Like if I'm going to wear a rig for VTubing, I would much rather prefer, you know, maybe a full body sort of rig. So then that way, like you could like see me like, you know, using my shoulders and my whole body, and I could put my hands behind my head and all that kind of crazy nonsense. Because that's one of the disadvantages with this leap motion when it's rigged to the chest, is it can only track what it can see from my chest. So if I try and put it like, you know, way up above me, actually it's working oh, it's because it's angled upwards. Like if I lean forward and then like the hands go almost, you know, practically in line with the where the leap motion is or behind my head, then, you know, I end up, you know, losing the tracking, and then the hands are just like, all right, let me just default to, you know, being back on your sides, like some, you know, I don't know, Some wonderful finger work. Yes. Hard drive plus hard drive equals harder drive. That's not how hard drive works. You're talking about hard drive squared. Hello, friend. Hello, fellow trumpet. You're awake? You swear? You didn't stay up until 4 a.m. reading manga. Well, that depends. What manga did you read? There's a lot of good options out there. I am currently going through Records of Ragnarok, One Piece, Boruto The Next Generation, Jujutsu Kaisen, Kaiju number 8, Spy X Family, Chainsaw Man, Black Clover, Blue Exorcist. Okay, so that's 9 so far. I really need to catch up on Black Butler and Kaguya-sama Love is War. Those are some other ones I need to catch up on. You just started Ascendance of a Bookworm. Been meaning to start it for a while. Ah, okay. Never heard of that before, I'm gonna be real with you. Let me open a new tab. Let me go into Opera GX, so then that way I'm able to, like, if I want to, I could, like, present this screen. Japanese fantasy. Oh, it's not a manga, it's a light novel. That's entirely different. That's entirely different. And it's already being, like, licensed by Crunchyroll for some episodes. Damn. Ascendance of a Bookworm. Serialized online from September 2013 to 2017 on the user-generated novel publishing site. It was later acquired by TO Books, who published 31 novels in January 2015. A manga adaptation of the first part with art by Suzaka was serialized online with Nikoneko from 2015 to 2018. 7 volumes. Both the light novel and the manga are published in English by J Novel Club. The story follows Urano Motosu, a book-loving post-secondary college student and soon-to-be a librarian who ends up crushed to death beneath a pile of books at her home during an earthquake. Wow, that is a way to go. I wonder if librarians are worried about, you know, being crushed to death. Is that a thing? People getting, like, crushed to death by Watsumahuzi, by books. I wonder if that's a librarian's nightmare. It's a popular anime as well. I don't know if it's, like, maybe I'm just, like, you know, too stuck up into the shonens, but I've not watched a lot of manga you read, anime you watch. I've not, like, caught up on a lot of anime because I normally spend my time, like, if there's a manga of it and I'm really invested into it, I'm probably going to go to the manga first and blitz my way through that shit. The only stuff that I haven't yet read the manga for is Kaguya-sama Love is War. I've only read, like, I think 4 or 5 volumes of it. I've not properly, like, kept up to date with that. Log Horizon, because I don't want to bother reading the light novels. Trigun and Trigun Stampede. Technically, Trigun Stampede and Trigun are following the same manga, but I've not yet gone too far into Trigun Stampede to see what the difference is, but holy fucking shit, Studio Orange once again fucking slaps on the 3D. Oh, and Beastars. I watched the first season of Beastars. Wasn't a huge fan of the whole, let's do racism, but with furries. I don't know why. I just don't have, like, I don't 100% vibe with, hey, god damn it. I literally just got my shirt back. How did the time... Isn't there a timer? To calm me down from thinking of not getting first, I must steal your shirt. Well, too bad. Timmy stole the shirt already. You're gonna get first again. Oh, damn, you lost that time. Yes, I would have to start the stream and start it again in order to get the, you know, the first redeem available again. Sorry, someone's calling me cute in one of my chats, and I have to tell them that I'm not cute. So that shit don't sail. You beat me up. I feel like, you know, if we properly followed, like, fighting, you would definitely beat me up. But I would have to rely on that, you know, neurodivergent, like, if we did go into a make or break kind of situation, that dog would come out in me. Because I will be real, like, I don't have the same level of experience in martial arts as you do, but, not you, Zeebs, talking about the fight thing on the stream. Ah, okay. Oh, yeah, I need to put my thingamajiggy on there. Because you... Is it kickboxing or is it Muay... It's either kickboxing, Muay Thai, or Taekwondo. It's one of those three things. Taekwondo. Okay, cool. So yeah, that was my third guess. Taekwondo. So, because I know you have those kinds of... I know you train kids in Taekwondo and such, and the most experience I have is yellow belt in martial arts. I can't remember which one it was. I just remember I only got up to yellow belt, which is basically, oh, you know how to raise your hands and do a block. And then fencing. And then a little bit of boxing. I have no experience in actually using my legs. So I feel like the minute you raise your foot up, I am just going to be absolutely dumbfounded, and you're just going to sweep me, and then it's just going to be a case of, all right, let me just punch you while you're on the ground. I should do a martial arts stream again. You can do those? That's a thing? That's a... you can... Is that a category? Hang on a second. Ding. Martial arts. Martial arts brutality. Brutality premium. The world of mixed martial arts. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yu Yu Hakusho. The Dark Martial Arts Club. And then martial... Okay. I don't think... They don't have, like, a live thing. You would have to do it as, like, a special event or something. Sports and recreation or something on Twitch. That would make sense. I watched all of my animes on Netflix, which sucks. 1, half the animes are subtitle only. You don't like reading while action is happening on the screen. You're a slow reader. They don't have the entire anime. Watch One Piece and they'll pump out 1 season per year, which isn't a lot. Just read One Piece, okay? I'm just gonna, like... Sure, you've got about 1,000 novels to catch up on, but I'm gonna be real with you. That is probably a better, means of being able to catch up and what's have you. Like, not sponsored or anything like that. The English distributor of, like, Shonen Jump shit is Viz.com, and...
Furrycures 1221 paid me to say go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. So the latest issues are distributed by Viz Media, and they have a section on their website for Shonen Jump shit. Turns out, if you get a subscription, granted, the subscription is like, I think, $8 or $9 a month, but if you get a subscription, not only do you get to, like, have, no limit on, like, how many of the issues you can read in a book, but you can also catch up on backlog shit, such as JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Stone Ocean. They started releasing some of the issues from there, and you're able to, like, go through that very quickly. You can read Chainsaw Man, Jujutsu Kaisen, Spy X Family. Oh, Magic and Muscle. That's actually a good manga. I recommend it. They turned it into an anime recently, but you can still get that whole Mob Psycho 100 / One Punch Man kind of feels to it. Undead Unlucky. That's another manga I forgot to say that I go through. What else have I read? Stone Ocean is over, so... Or, sorry, not Stone Ocean. Dr. Stone is over. I've already finished Bleach. I finished Dragon Ball Z. Amazingly enough, Chad, I decided to read the Dragon Ball series. Like, from Dragon Ball to the end of Dragon Ball Z. I've not yet gotten into Dragon Ball Super. I know Dragon Ball Super is being released. I just can't be bothered for some reason. Hi there, Augusto. Welcome to the stream. Your brother had Hulu and got in a good bit into Naruto. Naruto SJ. But the account was had and never got a new account. Ah, that sucks. I never finished Death Note. I went through a number... Like, it's only 108 chapters as well. Like, it is possible to... Hey! You must be running out of points at some point, Furry Cures. You can't be taking my shirt every 5 minutes. You finished watching Rise of the Shield Hero? Oh, the isekai. Interesting. It made you cry? Alright, no spoilers. I have not properly watched it. I just remember, like, some of the jokes, like how... Apparently, when you go into an isekai, you're just going to have to deal with the protagonist dealing with racism, and they do not deal with racism in a, in an Abraham Lincoln sort of way. They don't actually abolish it or anything like that. They just exploit it to their benefit. Wanted to come say hi. I need to go sleep some more. I'm feeling so buggered at the moment, even though I just woke up. Get some sleep. You didn't go to sleep until 4 in the morning. It's only 9:30 right now, so best case scenario, you might have gotten maybe 5 hours of sleep, but I know you didn't. Get some sleep. You also finished My Hero Academia. Nice! I am up to... That's another issue. My Hero Academia. There is a number of manga that I'm currently reading that I probably have forgot to mention that I am reading. Hang on a second. I know what we can do. Ding, dong, log in. Alright. Beep, 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 beep. Beep. Ding, dong, bing, ding, 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 jing, ding, 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 ding. Bop. Move you over there, turn this off, turn this on, and then, I should really stop doing ums. All right, so, I've not yet read Beats in Motion. I've read I didn't read JoJo Part 3 or Part 4. I started reading Part 5, so Golden Wind. And then I continued reading. I still need to go and read JoJo Land. I finished JoJolion, but I've not yet read... You reading manga? Yeah, I do this... Like, I find it quicker to read manga than to watch anime for some reason. Unless it's like an absolute banger of a manga getting adapted, such as Chainsaw Man. Holy fucking shit. Read Chainsaw Man, or at least watch the anime. It's fucking awesome. There is just... There's so much passion into that project. They've already released their first season, which is a 12-episode thing. I don't know why Japanese go with 12 episodes or 24. They never do like a little cut down the middle. They just go for like a full, 12 episodes, or they go for a full 24. Any hoosies. They've done 12 episodes. The opening is the same. It's a banger of an opening, but the ending for each of the episodes is different, and I love it. And like episode 4, I'm pretty sure Studio Mappa was throwing shade at fucking David Production by demonstrating a very well choreographed horse. Like, it was amazing. It was immaculate. Because here's the thing. Anime are not great at two things. Number one, dealing with huge amount of crowds, so half the time they go for CG, or animals for animation. So they'll normally go with CG there as well. Horses, for instance, is a very difficult thing in anime. And they did like an amazing horse. Hi there, Sir Breadstick. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're doing all right. One Piece, I'm currently up to date with that. Spy X Family, yep, I'm reading that. It's fairly fun. Like, anyone that has family would probably not be, vibing with the whole, dysfunctional family thingy-majiggy, where this guy is a spy, and he needed to get a daughter and a wife to infiltrate a school, so then that way he can infiltrate the inner ring of, like, this fascist political movement being headed by, like, someone from that school. He adopts this girl who turns out is a telepath, but she's not telling anyone this. So she knows that the dad is a spy. He gets her trained up so then that way she can be smart and go to a school. And then they get this woman who works in like a government building or something or rather, or no, she works at a mall, I think. She works like something nondescript. Any hoosies. The telepath figures out that she's an assassin. No one knows the full picture but the child, who is a telepath. But the child doesn't get a clear image about the full picture either because, she's a child. She's like fucking 5 years old. It's great. I highly recommend it. God damn it, Flu. Why are you joining in on this thing? Any hoosies. Jujutsu Kaisen, kind of alright. I'm a little bit confused of where we at right now, especially with domain expansions. Sakamoto J's, I've not yet read that. I really should. Mashal, Magic and Muscles, I'm fairly sure we're closing up to the end of it. I'm amazed that it's going on for like over 100 chapters. It feels way short. It felt way fewer than that, but nice work. Undead Unlucky, fairly good. Don't care. Black Clover is awesome. And Yeah. Thank you for the hyper hit. Okay. That was what I wanted to... Hey! Did you have to do that, chat? Damn you. Flew just holding in their fucking laughter as they stole my shirt this time. Helping, Whatsamahoozy not lose out on their stuff. Ayo. This is what Goreflem's streams are missing out on. Just big-ass titties. I don't think I've seen them draw big-ass titties. I think the biggest they've drawn is when I've done it. Or when my character gets drawn. Just big-ass titties. Alright, you're about to close 2 tabs. Yes, I'm fine with closing 2 tabs. Alrighty. Where am I next? You know Black Clover got a movie on Netflix? I am familiar that they've gotten an anime. I was not familiar that they got a movie. Is it a movie that is an actual, you know, explanation like of an arc that's happening in Black Clover? Or is it like My Hero Academia where it's just an independent movie with like no prevalence on the manga arcs? I'm trying really hard not to use ums and thes and, you know, sounds to bridge silence. I'm trying to avoid doing that. You don't know? Cookie for Sky. Hi, Sky. Here's your cookie. Cookie. There we go. Hope you're doing all right. Everyone doing okay? I keep getting my shirt stolen by chat. It's very annoying. Like, at some point, I'm not going to be... anyone clips this kind of shit, I'm not going to be able to use it on TikTok. Unless I did, like, some post-edits and be like, ah, yes, I now need to manually blur all this. The film is not canon. Okay. So, it's a classic anime movie, then. It's not... I'm saving up to get the maid outfit. Clearly, you're not saving up if you're spending money to steal my shirt. I really want to promote more use of prediction polls, however, so then that way there is an opportunity for people to be able to throw channel points for the opportunity to get more back. Unfortunately, I don't have a very gambly sort of community with me. So Furry Cures gets into it, which is really nice, but Furry Cures is the only one that normally does. So unfortunately, it's a 100% yes or a 100% no in the polls, which is not really great. There's not much of a, you know, randomization to it. Maybe if I did it with Dark Souls-esque games where it's like, oh yeah, I'm very likely going to be either lucking out of this nonsense or kicking ass, or getting my ass kicked, I should say. Maybe if it was one of those kinds of scenarios, it would work out very well. It's unfortunate that the times I've used it have been Jedi Survivor and Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory. Melody of Memory, there's not a lot of failure states going off there unless I do a boss match, but even then, that's a high chance of succeeding. Meanwhile, Jedi Survivor, very quickly, I was on to what needed to be done, but I would still, like, lose the first 3 matches. Ben Deskin is in the anime. Oh, I know Ben Deskin. Ben Deskin is, they're in Kaguya-sama Love is War. Will Grant beat the boss in the first 3 attempts? Like that. Yeah. Actually, one of the things... I should have listened to Puffin, because one of the things Puffin mentioned is I should make it that... I should make it a channel command where someone can submit their prediction option. I'll just make it a simple yeah or nah. All right, give me a moment. Prediction, start fight. We are going to duplicate this, and we're going to call this prediction channel point. So what we need to do then... So it does an execution, and I need to get the text from the message. So, hang on. So, copy all this. Visual Studio Code. Don't forget B stars. I don't forget anything. All right. This is not the folder I want. I need to open Twitch resources. There we go. So then that way you see all this. I tried doing like a HTML5 canvas. That did not work out as well as I hoped. Emote ideas, drinking, cute lines, clipboard, 3D attribution, bonk zebra export, file, new text file, ding. All right, so that is our current prediction text script. So we want to use... Now, a similar text script should be... Chat command? All right. So I did a user string, getting an argument of the target username to string. So that could work. Doing some fun nonsense chat. I need to double check. I need to check streamer bot. This is what goes into coding. You just do a whole ton of research, and it will probably take you an hour to do so in order to do a 1-minute idea. Variables. Here we go. Channel point rewards. Can automatically execute actions when a channel point reward is redeemed. This is what I want. Here we go. So variables. Shown reward cost, user counter, the raw inputs, a string text entered by the user. String text entered by the user with the escapes. All right, so we want raw input escaped. This is so then that way we prevent the whole, you know, so we do, all right, so the string is going to be called user prompt. And it's going to be the raw input escaped. The prediction title is going to equal that raw input escaped. But one of the checks I want to do is figure out what is the limit. Prediction title character limit. All right, here we go. This should be able to tell me the character limit. It tells me ending a prediction, canceling or locking the prediction, creating a prediction's current state.
Jai,
I know what I'm doing, chat, don't you worry. Running a prediction. Read more. Title. The question that the broadcaster is asking, for example, will I finish this entire pizza? The title is limited to a maximum of 45 characters. It's not going to be 100 years later. Don't be ridiculous. And besides, this will be interesting. We'll try our best. All right. So it needs to be a limit of 45 characters. Cookie for Hendrix. Alrighty. So C#, two string, first characters. The first 5 characters of a string. All right. You can use string.substring. So string
don't make me
equals
send
your
you
string
to Jesus myself.
dot substring. Could throw it in case of this less than the characters require. If you want to get the result back in string, then you can use the constructor and small thingamadiggy. The plus with this approach is not checking for length beforehand. The other way is to use sync with error checking. String equals, so if the string is null or white space and string dot length is greater than 5, then your string is that, otherwise this. A string that is equivalent to the substring that begins at start index in the instance, or empty if start string is equal to the length of the... So we got that info there. This is probably our best. So, grab this. Copy. User prompt. First off, checks that it's not null or white space, which is the args to string. And $45. Then will this work? Yep, that works. Amazingly enough, it works. All right, so user prompt can then be used in the variable for prediction title instead. And we'll keep the options to yeah and nah. So we can get rid of this. By changing the in between the quotations. It will be 60 seconds long. Compile. Save and compile. Cool. All right, so we now have that. And then we'll do percentile username percentile has started a new prediction. Vote now on your devices. Is that how I wanted to do it?
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. Oh no, user. I can just use user, actually. Prediction channel points. This is gonna be good, chat. Alright, add. Start prediction. Start a custom prediction. A custom prediction. 60 seconds to vote. Oop. Why won't it... Oh, it doesn't like new lines. 45 character limit. All right. There will be a global cooldown of... I want to say... Let's say 3 minutes for now. That should be long enough so that... A, it gives it time for the 60 seconds to be done for the prediction, and then gives us an additional 2 minutes for seeing whether or not the prediction comes true or not. We don't want to skip the redemption queue because I need to make sure that I'm able to say whether or not the prediction went through correctly. User input required. All right, I'm going to do it at 1 bit for now. Or sorry, 1 channel point. And we'll see how it looks. Wait, hang on. Twitch has a this thing. Aha! Copy the element. No. That doesn't do what I want it to do. Let's have a look. Hang on. Let me... Can I undock this? Yes, I can. Awesome. So that's the path. Oh, it's because it's an SVG. It's doing all kinds of data on it.
Did you see it?
Yes, you're seeing the background right now. Is there a way for me to print this thing? No, there isn't. Anyone want to run a prediction? It should be available as a channel point right now. While I find myself a nice... They must have it as an image somewhere. Once again... What did I just do? I just did something. What was that? Oh my goodness! I captured the orb. It's a little bit off center though. Capture node screenshot. That is amazing. It's not perfect. All right, here's what I'm gonna do. Inspect element. So that's really zoomed in right now. And capture node. There we go. Reset that. I don't need it to be that big. Open it up again. Did it work? Hey, it did! Alrighty. So what I need to do then is I need to put this into Photoshop, clear out this background, and make it so that it's only the square. Oh my goodness. Chat, you are going to see some wonder. Open with Photoshop. This is going to be good. You're going to be seeing the master at work here. No one doing a prediction? Fine. I'll do a prediction. Started a prediction. There we go. Select subject. Is it going to figure out it's this thing? Yes, it is. Cool. Actually, you know what I could do? I can just use the wand. Layer via copy. Close that. There we go. That's a lot better. And then what I can do then is keep it to a square. Like so. Okay, it's kind of difficult to see it when it's just a blank background. Hang on a second. Solid color. Let's make it red for now.
Did you see it?
I'm seeing it. So we got the prediction poll running right now. Hopefully people are going to take part in it. The creative juices are flowing indeed. Alrighty, so now we can go like... There we go. All right. So we clear that, and then file. Where's the export? Export as. All right. So, ding dong.
Go suck a lemon.
You go suck a lemon. I'm doing this. I got 5 more minutes to get this done. Start prediction. I need 112, 56, and 28. So, 112. So, at 1.0x. Export. Twitch resources, icons, reward icons, and it's going to be called prediction icon. Prediction icon, check the path and try again. It's probably going to be called something else, but if I go to my Twitch resources and I go to icons, reward icons, it's going to be there as a... There it is, chat. There's our icons. All right, so we can close this. No, I don't want to save any of the changes. And now we start applying them into all the different things. And let's change this color. Does anyone have a recommended color? Hi, Uranea Zach. Do you want to see something obscene? I do not know if I do. You end up getting my Father's Day gift from my dad unexpectedly. Hey, at least you got a gift sorted. Does anyone have a hex color? A very funny hex color. BADA55. Let's see. What are some funny colors we can use? We can use boobs, badass, coffee, FBI, CSS, ice, idiots, Ebolas, dildos, Google, Totoro, lol, diesel, Rebecca, loaded, lala, coffee, robots, erotic, fat ass, fecal, codex. We're going boobies? All right, we're going boobies. So, B000B5. B000B5. Boobies. Wait, someone say dildos. I don't want to do a poll. I'm gonna commit to boobies. Hey. And done. And it should update in the thingy. Yes, it did. And that means prediction over. What? Clock it. 9:58. Choose a prediction outcome. No one picked a prediction for this. How fucking dare you? Choose the outcome. Did I finish the icon before 10 a.m.? Yes, I did. Yes. I will very quickly... I will very quickly change it from raw input escape to raw input instead. That way... Oops. There we go. All right. Does it still compile? Yes, it does. Save and compile. There we go. I will adjust the prediction cost raw input. So basically, there's a new channel point redeem, Uranea Zach, where a prediction can be prompted by a user and it will start a 60-second countdown for that prompt. Didn't see the poll. An Italian person came up to you. God damn Italians, just interrupting your day. Also, Mouse, stop freaking out. So yeah, we now have a new channel point routine. I probably should have made it where it was like, oh, here's an advised prediction poll, and moderators can say yes or no to it. But this just goes straight into the prediction poll. So hopefully this doesn't, you know... Actually, I should have the option of being able to cancel predictions, so then that way everyone gets refunded their points. I just need to remember that's an option. So yeah, I was gonna choose if I paid attention. Wow. Is that how everyone wants to play this? Oh, I would take part if I was paying attention. You got a $180 bottle of cologne from him for $10. Ooh. That's a very good exchange. God damn. All right, I can close all these things now.
Ijai.
You Ijai I. Exploiting Icy that way. How dare. How dare you. Alrighty. So I got that out of the way, which is nice. Being absolutely distracted as I am. I can move you over here. So now we have that as an option. I'm gonna say... I'm gonna say 150 points. Because then that way, people need to contribute a large number of channel points more likely into... No. I'm gonna keep it to 1 point for today's stream. Would have voted, but looking for a new job. Alrighty then, chat. Give me your best excuses why you didn't vote. Tell the American why you couldn't vote. Go on. Give me your best excuse right now. Why didn't you vote? Would love to hear it. Would love to hear this. Wasn't fucking here. That's a good excuse. I'm curious about the other chatters, like, that... I will send you to Jesus. You can fucking try. Alrighty. You know what we're gonna do? I want to get into more Final Fantasy 16. We have a demo. I would like to get through more of the demo. Ow. How dare you. Let me just turn on my PlayStation. Is it on the right signal? Yes, it is. Cool. Starting it up. I can then go back to sources, turn off the main desktop, turn on the console. Ow. Press the home, go to play, get the demo started. I probably need to hit done on this. Go to studio. Game sources, activate. The demo features several chapters. All save progress will be carried over to the main game. We hope you enjoy your time in Valisthea. Nice. Also, sorry, chat, but we're going to have to get rid of the intro fighters. Congratulations, Uranea Zach, for your 10-kill streak with your polearm. Nice work. I should probably also stop the music. Hit the pause. slap you over here. And try not to get distracted by the viewer count. My goodness. Okay, I think I'm meant to go this way.
Tyler!
Don't make me send you to Jesus myself.
You won't.
His wounds are deep.
I can save him.
Your Highness,
Bonker.
Don't worry. You're going to be all right.
I'll hold them off.
Oh, it's our guy.
Clive!
Joshua! Come here.
So that little kid is going to be heir to the throne. That big dude
His Highness.
is the firstborn, but quite frankly, they didn't like him because he didn't inherit the phoenix.
You rescued the young prince. Well done, Sir Wade.
I'm in your debt, soldier.
Thank you, Your Grace.
We cannot stay here. We should make straight for the rear gate.
Beep.
Omir lost Alan to his son Gelif.
I have no clue.
May
Oh,
the winds speed you to Rosalith.
there was a gem in the owl.
The north gate's up ahead. There are chocobos in the stables. Father, take Joshua and get to safety.
No, I'm not going without you.
You don't get to choose.
Shield, remember?
I remember, which is why I'm going to hold the enemy here while you make your escape.
I will order our remaining forces to rally at the gate. Now go.
I will do my duty. You must do your duty too.
Sniveling child.
I know.
You have to keep Father safe. I'm counting on you, Joshua.
They do realize that the enemy could just ignore the keep entirely and then just walk around, right? Keeps are only useful in terms of being a rallying point for troops. They're not like the Great Wall of China where they are able to do a huge ass defense across the border.
We're too late. Everyone's dead.
I forgot how to dodge. Like, I've got the Phoenix shift, but... Okay, it's right bumper.
Damn it all.
Here we go. And we got this dude. We got all these dudes, really.
Captain. Take them.
Let none escape.
As you command.
Alrighty.
You take care of that spellcaster. I'll keep the others occupied.
Stay down!
Easy.
That's them done. Are you all right?
I'm fine. It's my father and Joshua I'm worried about. We should head back.
Oh my goodness, it's a Dragoon.
Clive, look out!
God, that's awesome.
Dance. He's an Imperial Dragoon.
And you are the shield who was blessed by the Phoenix. Not that it will save you.
Stay still, damn you!
Your time is...
Uh-oh.
He's open!
Staggered once again.
Now, Clive! Have at it!
You're going to regret that, boy.
There we go, another stagger. Yes! Ability finisher right at the get-go. Get ourselves some good experience. Leveled up for it. Level 8, more health, more attack, defense, stagger, strength, vitality, and wisdom. There we go. Fuck you, Dragoon.
Are you hurt?
I'm fine.
So, they sent in the Dragoons. Imperial Vipers. Do they really mean to invade us?
Most likely.
Not yet. Their numbers were too few. They were not here to take the castle. They were here to take heads. Our work is done. We should return to my father.
My lord, look. We issued these sashes but yesterday. In Rosalith. If they were already among us, what if there were others?
Father and Joshua are in danger.
We must hurry. Take your steed.
What is that?
Are you hearing a helicopter right now, dude? Oh my god, it's Organization 13. Or it's the what's-a-mahoozy, the Icons, I think they're called? No. What's the group called that is like antagonist to the Scions in Final Fantasy XIV? I forget. I have forgotten the name.
Oh, they're all right. Thank goodness.
He's a good boy.
Your Grace, is everyone safe?
For the moment. We ride for Rosalith to rally our forces. I will need your help to see Joshua safely back to the capital. On you get, Joshua.
The danger if these guys are the... Oh, no, not good.
Father?
Was about to call it.
But that won't be possible.
You honorless snakes!
Stay back! I'm warning you!
Run, Joshua, run! No! Hey.
That was your fault, kid. All right, kid. You're either going to turn into a phoenix or you're going to die here. I think I know which one it's going to be.
I had to. Clive,
I'm counting on you, Joshua.
Oh, you guys are...
Phoenix.
The Phoenix!
That phoenix is going to go a little bit insane. Run, boy!
Stop this! lost control. I have to do something. I have to save him. No, my lord. Fall back. Climb.
Oh my god. Oh no! Not our chocobo! Fuck, we can't have another one dying.
Thank you, God. You saved my life.
You better survive. You're gonna have a fucking badass scar as well. You're gonna be so cool. You're gonna get so many chocobo chicks. And now we gotta figure out how to deal with that phoenix.
Joshua, are you in pain?
Yes, he is clearly in pain.
Not now. Come on. You're his shield. Do your duty. Save him. My lord?
My lord? Yes, me lord. Oh. That's not the phoenix.
Second icon of fire. That's impossible.
That's Ifrit. That is the icon of fire. Is this gonna turn into like a really weird like kaiju brawl now? Or is this gonna be like what it was at the start of the game with like the Phoenix and Ifrit like fighting each other?
Who are you? Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
God damn it, this child's having a tantrum. Oh!
Away from me. Stay away or I'll kill you.
Okay, so we're embodying the Phoenix. Aiming, firing, and evading.
I'll kill you, Icon. I'll kill you.
Yeah, you're gonna do such an amazing job with that kid.
This cannot be.
The fuck are we? I thought we were in, like, beside a mountain, not atop, like, you know, a big mountain. Oh my god, this child...
Is this the repository? He's destroying everything. He'll bring the castle down, and everyone with it. I have to stop him.
This has gotta be the worst case of, like, miscommunication going off right now because of two icons deciding to form and not really having any means of communicating between each other. Go, dodge that shit. Yeah, that is your brother, you realize.
I need to keep it. I will do my duty.
What is going on in Clive's head, I wonder? Like, we're hearing Joshua through all this, but I have not heard anything from Clive. Two, one. That is a giant fucking ball. How did Clive learn to do that? How did you come to the conclusion to do that with the giant ball? Clive, you just killed your brother. Okay, clearly that's not how it's supposed to conclude. What was I supposed to do then? Was I supposed to just... Goddamn, the choir is really going off right now. And that's me dead again.
My flames may flicker, but they shall never die.
Oh my goodness. Are you kidding me? Like, why didn't you just do that in the earlier thingy-madiggy? Icon of Fire vanquished. Yeah, that's not great. We just killed Clive. I'm gonna be real with you. I liked Clive more than Joshua. I was much... Granted, both of them are technically coming from a monarchy. Fuck a monarchy. But I would much rather go for Clive, an individual where even the royalty does not help. Oh my goodness. Is something breaking? Please don't break on me, please. Cool. I would much rather a monarchy that tried doing something despite everyone pushing down on them because of, like, you know, even though he's monarchy and shit, everyone within the monarchy is like, oh, we can't have you leading us. You don't have the Phoenix and shit. Like, monarchy does not want anything to do with him. So he's obviously in a problematic spot where everyone outside of monarchy thinks he's royalty and, you know, are very much worried about him and like, oh, we should be giving him the proper respect and shit. Meanwhile, everyone in the monarchy is like, nah, fuck this guy. Fuck Clive. He didn't, you know, win the lottery properly. He won it just because he was born. That's not the proper lottery. You gotta get the Phoenix. It's like, much rather prefer Clive over Joshua, who, in the time that I've learned of him, he's a child. The only reason we care about him is because he has the Phoenix. He has demonstrated none of the aptitudes of actually learning to fight and such like that in the time that we've, you know, done the thing. He is cuddled by his mother because the mother would much rather have her Phoenix, the child with the actual, like, Phoenix icon on the throne, and because that's what her duty was, rather than Clive, who has so far been trained to be a shield and is probably a better sort of candidate for leading a monarchy during war and shit than Joshua. Joshua just won the fucking birth lottery within the monarchy, which is already a birth lottery. Fuck you, Joshua. Someone was gonna die. Oh boy. Why can't you two just talk? Wow. The audacity. The fucking audacity. Yeah! Fuck the monarchy! Beat him up! Wait, what? What did you just do to the dog?
No! Stop it! Take your hands off my brother!
Help me! Help me, Clive!
Uh-oh.
Joshua! Stop it! Stop it! I swore I would protect him!
Where is Clive's brain right now?
Please!
Is he in the creature or is he, like, elsewhere right now?
Stop it!
Zeebs is a cutie.
That was a bad timing there, furry cures.
Murderer. I'll kill you! I'll fucking kill you!
I was under the premise that Ifrit was Clive there, but was he not? like, was someone else Ifrit altogether? Or... Ow, no. What a dick. He could have easily been a prisoner of war.
Quite a mess that monster made. Damn shame about the Phoenix, but can't be helped. Oh, my condolences, Your Grace. Is there aught we can do?
Haven't you done enough, Captain? Joshua was my world, and now he is gone. I can only pray there will be a place for me in the world his radiance seeks to create.
I'm sorry. What?
Your Grace, over here.
Okay, who did he stab? And...
The rubble must have protected him from the worst of the flames. Shall we take him prisoner?
No need for that. Kill him. Wait. As my husband never tired of telling me, he is a fine soldier.
I am so... Like, the knights in armor, they're not on our side?
To the Imperial front line.
Like, what?
All in its right place.
Take this one.
Woman! What are you doing? Fucking...
Chin up, lad. You're going to be a soldier.
Joshua.
What was that? Yay, thank you for playing. Yes, because you have completed the demo, but there's still much more story to tell. If you would like to learn more about Clive and the Domans, please consider purchasing the main game. Playthrough data can be carried over to the main game, allowing you to continue from where you left off in the demo. Demo playthrough data cannot be loaded into the demo mode. To play the demo again, press new game from the thingamajig. Okay, first and foremost, save that. So level 10 is when the thingamadigi is completed. We can delete that. So that's our player save. Base game with digital mini art book and digital soundtrack. I'd rather just the base game, thank you very much, but the icon challenge has been unlocked, is now available from the title menu. In this special mode set later in the game, Clive has been equipped with the feats and abilities of 3 unique icons, the Phoenix, Garuda, and Titan, to allow you to get a better feel of the game's exciting system. Okay, cool, but... I just want to get to, like, the lore, like, section, like, the little book of things. Was specifically for the demo, and it features... And it differs slightly from what appears in the final game. Gear, items, and abilities are not representative of what we normally have available to Clive during this part of the story. World map and journal have been removed from the main menu. Save, autosave, and load is unavailable. 13 years have passed since the tragic events which Clive saw robbed of his brother, his father, and his home. After being pressed into the service of the Imperial Army of Sembriqui, Clive earns his freedom at the hands of a man named Sid, who agreed to... Sid! Okay, we still got Sid. Sid, who agrees to aid our hero in his search for the answers that have eluded him for so long. We join the two as they begin their infiltration of Caer Norvent, an ancient stronghold wherein his brother's supposed killer, a second dominant of fire, is said to be held by an elite party of Weloder knights commanded by Benedicra Harmon. Sid! And then we have this woman here, who was like Shiva's dominant.
Pull the men back inside the Caer Girls.
He is here then.
Have them lead Sid and his little pet to the chapel. I shall entertain them there. So you've come for me after all.
All clear.
Alright. Let's see, is Sid still Sid? It's really fucking dark. Press L2 to cycle between currently attuned icons in real time, allowing for a more varied assault. Cooldown times for icons are displayed around the corresponding icons and the abilities. Ability availability for all attuned icons can be confirmed via the colored dots for the widget. Okay.
That's a nice trick. You'll have to teach me sometime.
Alright, that's not the Sid I know. Golden Toast, thank you for the follow. I'm giving this icon challenge just a quick trial to see what it's like. Hi, hi. Hi, hi, indeed.
They may be holding the bearers there.
Sound plan. As long as we keep ourselves on this side of the bars.
In here.
Hello there.
And you gonna give up?
Alright, well, Sid still has the classic Sid attitude.
Need some help.
Here we go.
That I'm doing most of the lifting.
Cookie for Hendrix. Here's your cookie.
Clive.
Alrighty.
Did you hear that?
Alright, so what are my abilities? Normal melee attacking, dodging, jumping, executed dodge with R1, and then, yep, cool. A and X to swiftly close in and attack a distant enemy. X and squared while in the air to slice down. Hold square to imbue his blade with fire. R2 to attract the enemy. R1 to recover immediately. A when in the air. Hold triangle to increase the potency of the magic. Use immediately after landing a melee to deliver a cross-ranged magical burst. Step forward and deliver a blinding flurry of blows. Sounds cool. Summon a projectile spelling wall of liquid fire before launching several deadly shockwaves and is amplified upon dispelling magic. Jump back, then deliver a thingy-majiggy. Cool. What do I need for this one? Oh, it's a limit break, which I can't do. Aerial attack, chain up to 3, launch magic. Press triangle immediately after doing the cross. We'll increase that. Stomping, taunting, hold to imbue. Close the distance. Use the Blessing of the Phoenix to close the gap between a target, and both melee attacks and magic stocks can be dealt while shifting. There we go.
Unfortunately, yes.
Alright, let's see what this combat's like.
What? Good news, lad. Get him!
boy. Sick of Torgal. Over here. There, boy. Too slow. Get him, boy. There, boy. Get him.
Yes, and then I can initiate limit break at some point.
So, what's who next?
Let's give it a go. Excuse me. I love our boy.
Leads to more royalists. We better find another one.
Take your pick.
Okay, game, it's too dark. Hang on. I need to see if I can adjust the brightness. Settings. Brightness. Increase the brightness to 50. Input source. Apparently it is a high dynamic range though, so... Oh. What did I just do? We're okay? I think we're okay. My brightness is still up, so I can thankfully like see what's going off in the game a little bit more.
How about a window?
Bloody show off. Well, we found the Imperial garrison. Right where the Royalists left.
Keep your distance, boy. Not this time. Get him, boy. There, boy. Get him.
Oh, that is so cool.
Bone Maska Dog thinks you should do 20 squats.
Alrighty, let me do my 2 squats shortly. Oh, that was awesome. Alrighty. 20 squats, here we go. Big stretch! Oh, big stretch for the big boy. Yeah, sometimes, look, Sunday mornings are a lazy day, Bone. Sometimes people don't want me to do squats. It happens. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15,
Emotional
16,
damage.
17, 18, 19, and 20. Thank you for the 20. No, I am not saying 2 as in 40. You said let me do my 2 squat. No, let me do my squats. I didn't say 2. 400 points used to acquire. God damn it, furry cures. Ah. Ow.
Give them all you've got, boy. You know what to do, boy. You know what to do, boy. There, boy. You know what to do, boy. There, boy. You know what to do, boy. Get him, boy. Too slow. You know what to do, boy.
Alright, that was a lot more intense than I was expecting it to be. Alrighty. This ways.
For half measures, were you, Benedicta? These poor sods didn't know what hit them.
Crazy amount of
All
combat.
this bloody running. After them.
Enemy attacking an opponent from the front while it's guarded will deal no damage. Circle to the rear and penetrate their defenses. Certain abilities such as Burning Blade and Charged Magic, as well as icon abilities such as the Phoenix Rising, can instantly break an opponent's guard, even when delivered from the front.
Seems they were expecting it.
You don't say. Keep your distance, boy. It's over. Sick of Torgal. Get him, boy. There, boy. Stay down. Sick of Torgal. Get him, boy.
Oh, the Royal Mastiffs. I'm sorry, boys, but you're gonna have to die.
Sick of Torgal. Over here. Sick of Torgal.
Is it still dark for you, chat? Like, is it... Because I've raised the brightness up, like, by 50 on my side, but I forgot to raise the brightness on your side. So I have no clue if, you know, if this is, like, you know, the kind of... Because this is apparently... Like, what you're seeing right now is, like, the light levels that they wanted for you. And I was like, fuck it, I'm going to increase the darkness by a lot more. I mean, the brightness by a lot more. Would you want the brightness to be increased? This is going to be very important to know for when I go through Final Fantasy 16, like, legitimately. You know what? I think I'm going to do that. Hang on a second. No, not settings. Studio mode. Where's game sources? Game sources... Filters.
What the hell happened here?
No, it's not there. What about properties?
A little late for prayer, isn't it?
Do I seem so desperate as to grovel at the feet of a false god? I was waiting for you.
Not for too long, I hope. For a midnight chat. Well, let's chat then. Where are the men and women you took from Lostwing?
You mean where's the dominant? Well, you shall be requiring his services indefinitely.
Did that help?
To me,
No, I don't think it did.
I need you. Think of all the things we can create together. The world that we can build.
You need me. Your king needs me. I'm all for building a new world. Just not his. That bastard's dreams are as twisted as his promises are false. And I want no part.
Nah, providing LUT isn't what I
Barnabas
want.
saved you, and this is how you speak of him. Have you no shred of loyalty?
What? To a leader who'd use me? Like he uses you.
You know nothing of me, Sidolphus.
You're right. I don't know who you are anymore. Or what you want. I only know what you used to say. That you were tired of running. That you just wanted to be free. Free of it all. You weren't lying to me then, so what changed? What made you think you had to sacrifice who you were to get what you wanted?
Sacrifice. I use my talents to my advantage, and you would tell me there is shame in that?
If there's no shame, then why do you feel so sorry for yourself?
A rousing speech, Lord Commander. I was a fool to believe you might have changed. The only person I feel sorry for is you!
Nah, Expander is not it.
I can't do this anymore.
Nope.
If you would stand between our leash and his dream, then you leave me no choice. Goodbye, Sidolphus.
Uh-oh. I would comment about this further, but I have not seen... I don't see a thingamadiggy in the...
Stand back, Clive.
Hang on. Configure video. There we go. Uh-oh. Not good, Sid.
Finish them.
Sid. At least it's not 3 against 1.
Sick of Torgal. Get him. Not this time. Sick of Torgal. Get him, boy. Give them all you've got, boy.
Oh no. Yeah.
Keep your distance, boy. Get him, boy. Sick of Torgal. You know what to do, boy. Sick of Torgal. Not this time. There, boy. Too slow. Get him. Over here. Not this time.
Hi, bestest boy. I am trying out like what's called the icon challenge or something.
Not this time. Too slow. Get him. She doesn't look happy, Torgal. Come on. Give them all you've got, boy. Get him, boy.
Ding, 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 ding.
Get him, boy. Just wait. Over here.
Yeah, staggered them.
Sick of Torgal. Don't let them get away. Get him, boy. Too slow. Over here.
Yes! Icon with an E. Alright, we got ourselves a lot of spoils with that. Although, none of this means anything for when we actually play the game. To see the pattern on the surface of the spherical gem shift and twist, one would think a churning storm trapped within, though it most certainly must be a trick of the light. Shark fangs and Magitech dust. Cool. I think it goes like this. Icon.
Sid, are you all right?
Do I look all right?
Not really, but, you know, we could probably make you better somehow. Somehow.
Benedicta will be on her way to collect the dominant, if she hasn't already. You can't afford to let them leave. Remember, she has wings, you don't.
What about you?
Before or after I catch my breath?
Sorry. Come on, Toggle.
Doesn't help me. Let's go this way.
She must be here somewhere.
The flavor of fire. Alright, let's give those a try. I already did squats. No, I don't want to do squats again. Don't make me do squats again.
Has been signaled.
An Imperial! Give them all you've got there. Sick of Toggle. Keep your distance, boy.
Okay, this is a lot more fun when I put on those timely thingy-majiggies.
Get up.
Here we go. Meow.
I'm running out of tower.
Our lady wants us gone before sunrise.
I see he's cute, dude.
Sure he is.
There, boy.
This should be the right way.
Don't let them get away. You know what to do. Over here. It's over. She better not have flown away.
Hopefully this is the right way. Looks to be the right way. Damn! Gotta lurk, gotta focus on getting the toes today. Not to worry. Thank you for sitting in. I really appreciate it. I know Sundays are very low energy. I might change those to the afternoon, because I remember it might have been you, Hendrix, that recommended it, of like going for the 12 o'clock sort of times. Like,
don't make me send you to Jesus myself.
You can't do that. Ow. Alrighty, and then we pick that up. Damn, the moon looks cool.
Finally.
Oh, a big boss arena for the icon. And you're a Garuda's icon, aren't you?
I confess I expected more from the old man.
Give him a minute to catch his breath and he might do better.
Yes, from you. This is the second time you've bested my sisters. Men of your talents are rare indeed. Why cost your lot with such undesirables? If it is the hearth you long for, you will find more than enough warmth under my wings.
You know exactly what I want. Hand over the dominant, and I'll leave you in peace.
You would dare to make demands of me. Know your place, little lamb. Fool is the shepherd who heeds every bleat of the flock. And I will suffer yours no longer. Must I spell it out for you, Branded? No one is listening. No one at all! Come, little lamb, to the slaughter with you.
Sick him, Torgal! Get him, boy! Sick him, Torgal!
Scream!
There, boy! Sick him, Torgal! Don't let them get away! Wait this time! Sick him, Torgal! Get him! Sick him, Torgal! Get him! You know what to do. Where is he?
Emotional damage.
I don't know if I wasn't paying attention to all of her speech. She just sounded like she wasn't going to give us what we wanted. Oh boy. Hey, do not hurt our dog.
There's no one to save you now.
Neither you.
going to join your pet.
Hi, Ripper. Okay, am I gonna dodge these things? Yeah. Dodge that. And we're gonna try and...
Stay down.
Oh boy. When can we do our cool magic?
Shit.
Like, we should have the Phoenix inside us. We should be able to, like, you know, do cool half magic shit. Torpole! Rip that arm off if you can. Use a good boy. I wonder, is it better or is it worse to... Oop, she staggered again. All right.
This Despoiox demands you drink.
Trời ơi.
Yes! Hi there, Blitzblade. Is this the full game? No, it's just the demo. The full game doesn't come out until next Thursday, my time, I believe?
The underscore Timma thinks you should do 20 squats.
Alrighty then, sounds like a good time to do the 20 squats then. 20 squats. Here we go. Ugh, what do you mean false? How do you have the full game already? I thought it wasn't out until... Wait a second. Have I been misreading when it comes out? FF16 release date. June 22nd. It comes out June 22nd. There's no way you can have the full game on this on the 18th. All right, here we go. 20 squats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Thank you for the 20 squats. Some stores will have physical copies now. I feel like that's maybe a bit cheeky.
You are but a branded. How did you do it? How did you even survive? How?
The answer is simple, Benedicta. He was fighting for something he believed in.
Shut up! Why aren't you dead?
We've played your games. Now tell me where he is.
Who? What are you?
Oh, what is that? What is Clive doing? Is that a unique feature of, what's-mahoozies? What's going on? What are you doing? Hey, there we go. I need to adjust the color and the brightness on my thingamadoog because yeah, hang on, restore defaults. So let's see, automatic, expanded, standard. Okay, so the color range needs to be expanded because it's a high dynamic range on my side. HDR videos can be achieved with the HVEC profile. I don't know what that is. Quality can be automatically set up. I'll go for 60 frames, 1080p. Or actually, you know what? I'll just do auto setup, so then that way it follows the same frame rate, because it's apparently only doing 59.94. So I can choose to enable or disable high dynamic range. Meanwhile, if I go to studio mode and then game source, there we go. Properties. So I can disable it, enable it, configure the video. Right now the video standard is set to PAL, but I think I need to fix that. Signals detected 1, lines detected 1080. I need to restore everything to its defaults. Deactivate when not showing. Yep. Configure crosshair. Don't think I can do that. Nope, crosshair doesn't do anything. Device defaults. Color range is default. Or color space is default. Color range will be full.
Zeebs is a cutie.
I'm not. When enabled, buffering video or audio data is to ensure the smoothest and most accurate playback possible, but at the cost of increased latency. When using buffering with a video capture card, it's recommended to set the card and the program to the same frame rate for best result. When disabled, ensuring lowest latency playback, but at the cost of frame play accuracy. This is ideal for face cams or when you want to use the program's preview window to play a console. The default, all right, we can't, let's see, apply rotation data from the camera, if any. Neat. Use hardware decoding when available. And then the only filters I have on there is the compression audio ducking thing. So. The Walmart you worked at would get games about 4 to 6 hours before release. Yeah, and I think one of the interesting things about this particular game is that they reported that there isn't going to be any day one patches, is the thing. That was one of their interesting little tidbits about this, is there wasn't going to be a 0-day or day one patch, which is odd considering, you know, Jesus fucking Christ, $115 just to purchase it. Fuck. All right. That was Final Fantasy XVI's like demo. I can enjoy it. Press the home button. Probably need to adjust my settings because the main monitor I have in front of me, that is that has HDR, but my other two monitors don't. At least, or maybe, hang on. I'm going to need to double check which of the monitors are actually high dynamic range, because not all of them are high dynamic range. Only one of, I want to say one or two of them are. Okay, so the one in the middle for me is high dynamic range. The one on the left doesn't have high dynamic range. That's just a normal Dell monitor. And then on the one on the right doesn't have any, like that's being connected right now via HDMI and doesn't have high dynamic range. Only the one in the middle, which is like this really expensive, cool one. Screen and video. The connected HDMI device supports 1440p output. Test to see if it works on your PS5. All right, let's give it a try. In the next screen, tests will be run for 1440p with your HDMI device. You'll test for the following settings in order. If a setting isn't supported, the screen will go blank and the previous setting will be restored after 15 seconds. 60 Hz SDR, 60 Hz high dynamic range, 120 Hz high dynamic range. All right, let's give it a try. Oh boy. The screen is currently showing 60 Hz. Can you see this screen? No, because my screen was like flickering like mad. Hang on, test. Let's try this again. The screen is currently showing. Can you see it? Yes. We do this again. Yes. Yes. It supports 1080. It supports 1440p with the different resolutions. Awesome. Variable refresh rate. If you're auto low latency mode, 4K video transfer rate. I don't think I have that. On when supported. To always enable, if you select on when supported, will be disabled while using a game or app that isn't HDR compatible. If you select always on or when supported, deep color output will be set to thingy. Ow. All right. I will do that in my own time. Alrighty. Back to here. Close that. And let's... Oop, forgot to do the music. Let's have a little look and see who is online and who we're going to raid. Let's have a look. Dun 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 dun. Do 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 do. I say we are going to go for Dandicoot. I have seen them in some of the hypermuscular chats that I've been a part of, and it's really cool to see them streaming, and they're doing fairly well. We are going to go and raid into Dandicoot then. So, if you are subscribed to me, you can use the following emotes with our raid message. Himbo raid, show us your cutest guys, gals, and non-binary pals, or prepare to get swole. If you're not subscribed, that's okay. You can use whatever other kinds of emotes that you want on for the raid message. It's all right. Or no emojis for the raid message if you prefer. And that will be that. I will need to figure out what I am doing for the next week. I'm very likely going to be playing Final Fantasy 16, but I definitely need to think about how I'm going to pay for it because, yeah, $150 for a video game is not cheap. It's rather expensive, especially when I need to try and save money and what have you. So, and then there's the fact that Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings is doing a thing, so who knows? But that's neither here or there. You guys are not interested in the financial talk and all that kind of such. You want to know when I want to play games next. I will get a stream schedule out. It will be on my Twitter. I will probably mention it in my Discord as well. It makes me sad. We're back to $110. We've always been $110 in Australia. That's the short of it. But otherwise, I want to say thank you everyone who came along to this morning's stream. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you for hanging out when I first started chatting. And I'll hopefully see you all next time. Bye for now.